Hey guys, we are on the air on YouTube. This is the Surface Geeks podcast. We're up to what, number 66? It's
That is
crazy.
correct.
66. If you'd like to chat with us, we are at surfacegeeks.net/live. So surfacegeeks.net/live. And you guys get to talk a lot tonight because I've been coaching a baseball game. And if you've ever
Did they
coached a
win?
game, 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds, you scream a lot. Run, run, run. No, stop, stop. Run, run, run.
Go home, go home.
Home. They walk off.
Yeah. Bad News Bears, right? He runs home.
So I'm having iced coffee.
Got the jug.
All right, got a jug. What are we drinking?
Diet green tea original with other natural flavors and ginseng.
Please don't drink diet drinks.
So bad for you.
He's avoiding the sugar. That's a step forward. All right, let's record. 66, May 6. Ooh, that's a little odd. Hi, chat room. This is the Surface Geeks podcast, episode number 66, recorded on this day, May 6, 2014. We're beating that Surface Mini dead horse again. Hey guys, welcome back to the Surface Geeks podcast. I am your host, David McCabe. I am joined by my longtime companions, fellow hosters of this podcast, Mr. John Wiskowski. How are you doing tonight, John?
I'm doing great, Dave. Hello, everyone. Happy
it's good
Tuesday.
To see you wearing your colors. Is that a universal property, or you're just a fan?
It is not. I'm just a fan.
You're just a fan. Jack is back. 24 is on the air. Also, from the city, Mr. Dan.
No one can see us, if that matters.
No one can see us.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
So Surface Geeksers, let me. No one can see us. Let me update. Then I will refresh. My apologies. They're not seeing anything. Because it does. It says 65 out there on the live show. So
we're 66.
If you've never watched live, guys, tell them to refresh their page out there. If you've never watched live and you've never watched me screw up a live podcast, please join us every Tuesday night. We usually go at about 9:30, 9:45. We get started. The problem is John, Darren, and I start at about 9:30, and we chit chat until 9:45 before we go live. So, thanks for hanging out with us again. And this podcast is available on Stitcher now. So if you are a fan of Stitcher, I think they call that Stitcher Radio. You can get the podcast on there, and you can also get it on the website. You can stream it from the website, and that's where you're going to see the beautiful show notes from the Surface Geek Show. So thank you for subscribing and listening every week. If you want to know what's going on with the podcast, Surface Geeks on Twitter. Darren goes by FinsUpDNC. John goes by J Wiskowski. It's all on Twitter.com. And any of that flew right by you, just go to the show notes, surfacegeeks.net or surfacegeeks.com, and you can get up to date on the show notes. So, okay, guys, we've got. I said we're going to beat the dead horse of the Surface Mini, but we've got possibly some new information. Now, the other thing is we're going to be talking a little bit about Microsoft Store. I like talking about Microsoft Store. I really enjoy that. I think we're going to start John out with that, and then we're going to round it up with some apps and maybe a little phone, and we're going to have a good time doing it. So, I don't know. Is this like a daily thing for a week, or did they just tweet out this deal?
It seems random, right?
This is just a random blog post yesterday, and in fact, it was short notice. I think some of the other deals had a little bit more time. You might see them hit on a Friday for the following week or something like that. And I could tell by the number of people that this wasn't well known.
Okay,
So
so tell me, what's this deal? I saw it, and I didn't have time to go to the store to even look at it. But tell me about this deal.
So, thanks to Darren, that's who I heard about it from, because of course we never seem to all be on Twitter at the same time, which is good because there's three of us. So usually, at any point in the day, one of us is on Twitter, and of course I do read every tweet in my feed. So eventually, I probably would have seen it. But um, there was a blog post out yesterday that the Microsoft stores, both online and brick and mortar, would have an Asus laptop for $199, which is $100 off its regular asking price. I did some quick reviews, quick research, I should say, on reviews. Went to Amazon, went to Best Buy, went to a couple other websites, and all the reviews were very positive for a normally $299 machine. It does have a Celeron processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive. It does have a touch screen though, which I was actually surprised about. I didn't expect that. HDMI out, Windows 8.1 preloaded, and it was $100 off. So my brother has a hand-me-down. He usually has a hand-me-down. He had an old Toshiba laptop that was my mom's and came with Vista on it. I upgraded him to Windows 8 and gave it to him last year, but a whole bunch of stuff started to fail on it. The screen, so we had to use an external monitor. The fan started to go, so if you watched a movie on Netflix for 5 to 6 minutes, it would just turn off. So I was going to try to, do something for him eventually. I didn't expect to do something this soon, so I went to the store, and I got there early, about 9:15. The store opens at 10 a.m., my local Microsoft store. I didn't wake up at 3 a.m., but when I checked at 6 a.m., it was sold out online, and I've never been able to get any deal on the Microsoft Online store ever. I've tried multiple times. All three colors, black, blue, and white, were sold out. Got there early. No one was there. Grabbed a coffee, waited. One other gentleman joined me. He said, "Are you here for the laptop?" I said, "Yes, I am." And I said, "Well, I hope they have two," because there was two of us there. And I was worried. I was like, you know what? They're not going to know what I'm talking about. A friend of mine went to an Apple store the other day, and it was something that Apple had announced, and the Apple store employees knew nothing about it. They're like, listen, they just announced this thing. They didn't even tell us. So I kind of pictured that thing was going to happen where, let me go look. Let me go talk to my boss sort of situation. But she goes, oh, no, it's right over here. It actually had an official, I don't know what you call that, a place card, a placard, one of those little things that explains the laptop. It has the price, and it actually said $199, which I was surprised because this is apparently a one-day sale only. But they were prepared. They had the black model on the floor. She said black, blue, and white were all available. I was going to go with the white, but I figured it would look maybe a little bit nicer. I don't know why, one of the pictures I saw online, but the black was out and it looked great. It does not look like a $200 or $300 laptop. I was very pleased. In store, the trackpad looked great and actually got pretty good reviews. You would never expect a laptop in this price range to have a nice trackpad, but it did. It has a nice chiclet keyboard. You can use the function key to do just about everything, including put it into airplane mode, which I've never seen on a laptop before. I don't really pay a lot of attention to laptops. I'm always looking at tablets, but I thought that was cool. The touchscreen worked. For the modern UI, it was fast enough, right? So I picked one up for my brother, and so he's getting that tomorrow when he comes by.
Awesome. Now, what was the size of that screen on that Asus?
11.6 inches. 1366 by 768.
not bad. It seemed interesting to see how it runs. I've only used one Celeron device, and that was a Gateway, so I don't know with touch and all that. It was a little slow, but for $199, even $299, right? It's like you're getting a laptop with touch that runs everything.
Entry level with a touch screen.
Right.
Well, the biggest thing I did was I tried to figure out, okay, is it worth trying to get it for $100 less? Well, yes, that's 33% savings, right? So that's pretty substantial at that price point. But then I said, well, where else can I get this laptop? No one had it for near $199. They all had it for the regular asking price. So then I said, well, what can I get in this price range? Maybe I'll spend $50 extra and I can get my brother something like super. There wasn't anything. at that price point that looked appealing. There was a Toshiba at like a Best Buy that had a 15-inch screen, but it weighed like 8 pounds, had horrible reviews, 2-hour battery life. Where this has a 5-hour rated life on the battery, and apparently it gets near that, which I was sort of surprised, and it weighs less than 3 pounds. So to me, this is kind of an ultrabook. I know ultrabook standards on the PC side means it has a certain type of processor, I believe,
And hard drive, I think. But,
and hard drive, but it's definitely looks like an ultrabook. It has a 5,400 RPM hard drive, certainly not the fastest, but it isn't the worst possible drive that they could have thrown in there.
I wonder if you can.
I mean, we all know what
replace it.
we all know what the modern UI is like. It doesn't need a lot. Once you have your apps loaded and you're moving around, it does have 4 gigabytes of RAM. I didn't see any Chromebook or anything like that could compare at this price point. Because I said, well, maybe I should just get him a tablet and he can hook it up to a monitor. And yeah, I went through that. I said, no, you know what? $200. I'm not going to do any better than this. I was really tempted to pick one up for myself, and as you said, maybe try to put an SSD in there, play around with it, use it as a computer for friends and family that come over, for guests. Maybe if I was going to travel somewhere and didn't want to bring a personal machine, but I have a Surface 2. I'm happy with it. I can take that just about anywhere. But so I will definitely revisit this with you guys in the weeks ahead to let you know what a $200 laptop is like. Again, the purchasing experience was great. They were very friendly, no bloatware. ASUS includes a 1-year warranty, a 30-day warranty against what they call bright pixels. So if you have even one bright pixel on the screen, they will replace it. Free 2-day shipping for all repairs in that 1-year period. Free phone support, and what I thought was amazing was accidental support for a year. So if he drops it, spills something on it, cracks it, they will replace it within the first year for free. I didn't have to pay anything extra for that. And you guys know that's something that other stores and locations charge a lot for. I guess it's an ASUS thing, but there was a sticker on the box. So I don't know if maybe not all ASUS models come with this. I tried to do some research, but it was just nice to see.
Very cool. And speaking of deals, actually just posted 11 minutes ago.
I saw that.
NeoWin had it. There's Microsoft's opening 11 what they're calling specialty stores around the country. They're basically the pop-up kind of stores.
Last year's pop-ups, right?
Right. Now they're called specialty stores. At the opening, so the opening day of these stores, you're going to be able to get the original, the Surface RT for $199, and the Dell Venue Pro 8, so the 8-inch Dell tablet, for $99. So I don't know how many they'll have, but here are the dates. So if you're listening, you have a week. May 13th, it's going to be at the Oaks in Thousand Oaks, California, Park Place in Tucson, Arizona, Jordan Creek Town Center, Des Moines, Iowa. May 15th, Broomfield, Colorado, North Star Mall in San Antonio, Texas, and Omaha, Nebraska. I know we have someone watching from Omaha, Westroads Mall, $99. May 17th, Mall in Columbia, Maryland, the Main Mall in South Portland, Maine, Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Boise Town Square in Boise. So if you're in any of those cities, $99, I mean, whatever you think of these devices, the $99 for a Dell Venue 8, I mean, that's unreal. And $199 for a Surface RT. I'm using mine right now, and I use it more now than I did the day it came out. So it's a very capable device.
Both of them are just buy it prices. Don't even think about it. Just buy it.
Exactly. So that's pretty unreal. And we'll throw that up in the show notes, but it's at neowin.net right now.
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to start seeing a lot of these crazy deals, right?
Well, that's
especially
what
this time
you guys
of year.
is
surprising.
I would hope to see. Yeah, I mean, we love deals. I don't know why this came about, this $200 laptop, but I'd love to see it keep going. Have we heard of anything else?
Well, I guess we're kind of in that in-between period now, right? And back to school is a big new product bump, big push, and the holidays. So now we're probably in some older revs of hardware, try to push them out the door. So it does, and it does make sense time-wise, but also it'll kind of become the story. Just get more device in the hands of people, and I think that's their goal.
Right.
So this will help the goal.
I think part of it could be the chip roadmap. I believe there might be a spec bump to this machine that I just bought my brother. Really minor, right? But like we talked about with a lot of vendors, you'll see just a random spec bump. It happened to the Surface Pro 2 last year. It could be that there's just some new chips coming out. They can't get the older parts. They want to clear out inventory. Maybe they want to bring out some new models soon. Or, a lot of times the things we saw at CES, they'll start hitting the street now sometime. So it could be that, you may be able to pick up the last year or last gen model for some savings. We all heard rumors about the Venue Pro 8. There may be a follow-up. There's going to be new chips out from Intel that are on the Bay Trail platform that support 64-bit fully out of the box. So who knows if that plays into it.
Which is actually, I saw something today. A couple of people had software that upgraded. They bought the Dell Venue thinking they can run everything, and now their vendor gave them software that only was in 64-bit.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often. But.
Right, I think we're going to start seeing that. So it's important. So that's a good news that even the new Bay Trails will have 64-bit support, because that is going to be an issue. That's like the next big issue, but that'll get us back to our RT debate, which will be next, I think.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Two more things on the Microsoft Store, because I know you guys love hearing about it.
Yeah.
Pimpin' the 2520, the Lumia 2520, just all over the place. They have the monitors on the wall, and they kind of hook them together so you can see one image spread across.
Right.
Lumia 2520. They were just pimping the fact that you can charge it to 80% of its battery in under an hour. The power cover, it was all over the place. Two of them on the floor. They had the power cover in stock. Also, this is a great time to buy a PC if you're in education. If you're a graduate or a teacher, they have 10% off, plus $100 off select PCs, some software deals. If you buy a Windows Phone off contract, you receive a free case. There's all sorts of stuff happening at the Microsoft Store. This is a great time to go in. You can play Titanfall. The new Watch Dogs game is coming out. If you buy that, you get $25 credit to the store. Lots of stuff going on. So if you have a Microsoft Store near you, even if it's not one of these pop-up stores, specialty stores, just go ahead and peek your head in, take a look. Lots of stuff going on.
And there's a store opening near here. Finally, they're getting a pretty big store in the Garden State Plaza in Paramus. And I went to. Right now they just have a pop-up in the middle of the mall until it's open. And apparently it's going to be by far the largest Microsoft store in the country. Wow. It is just the amount of space where the Microsoft sign is on the outside of the store. It wraps around an entire corner of the mall. And this is also a store with the largest in-mall Apple store. So it's going to be interesting to see.
That's nice.
That also is huge. I mean, this thing was a monster.
Yeah, we don't have the biggest store here in Indianapolis. I mean, I'm still proud to have one.
Right.
Where I bought my RT in Oak Brook, Illinois, they've got a big store. I mean, it's pretty darn big, and
don't forget, and Macklemore is doing the opening for the store here. If you're into that kind of thing.
Okay.
And his friend, whatever his friend's name, I forget. The other guy that hangs around with him all the time.
Yeah, whatever. All right, Windows Store, keep it going. That's good fun. Good fun.
Let's go to the big news.
Yeah, let's move on. We had more news. I honestly, I really do feel like we're kicking a dead horse, but it's kind of nice to be excited about something in the space, right? Surface Mini.
Yes, but it's not just old re-kicking or we have confirmation.
Right. No,
it's invitation sent.
It's new. I'll let you run it down.
So
where it came from, what we heard, and then go to the Twitter sphere.
The Twitter sphere. It was really started there.
Always right.
I think at first I think it was Joanna Stern posted a picture of her invitation to a small event in New York for the next Surface event, which everyone assumes is the Mini.
Yeah, most of the folks blurred out the address and stuff, but I noticed a couple of them did not.
So anyway, so then all of a sudden you saw a lot of other media people saying they got the same thing. Everyone assumes, and I think rightly so, that's the Surface Mini. That was yesterday, and then everyone started talking about what's it going to be. What's it going to be? We already heard it's going to be. There are rumors that it's going to have a pen with OneNote, 8-inch, some more confirmed, they say, leaks. I guess leaks today would be the best word, right? Is how we're hearing today. That's
Yeah,
going to be
so I don't know if anything's confirmed.
right. I mean, nothing's confirmed till the date. I guess there'd be more rumors, but maybe more supported rumors, that we're going to see an RT device, which a lot of people are going back and forth yesterday. Want to see, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago. RT ARM versus x86. So it looks like the rumors are it's going to be ARM. It's going to be 8 inches. Going to be very OneNote centric, which we talked about as well. Have some kind of be really good with a pen. I know that's been a big thing. Problem with people with the Dell Venue we just talked about, and the other small tablets. People wanted better pen support. So it looks like it's going to have all that. Haven't seen much about pricing. Availability, I've seen rumors anywhere from mid to late June, which would be about a month after the announcement. So it's a lot of the stuff we've already kind of been hearing, but more people saying it. And the one thing I noticed was it was Paul Thurrott said, and there'll be another surprise he's hearing. So that's what got my ears perked. But does that surprise mean maybe a spec bump on the other ones, like the Pro? Does it surprise mean something else, John?
I don't think the surprise is a spec bump on the Pro. I think that could certainly happen. Might not even be mentioned during the keynote. A lot of times, they might just be updating their product pages. So I could see some small things happen. Be nice to see if there are some price adjustments. We talked about, I think, a few key things here. What's the price going to be? How are they going to try to sell it? And like you said, it's going to be all focused with OneNote and a stylus. Hopefully that means the stylus is included, that there's some place to put the stylus so it won't get lost easily, especially if this is going to be a more pocketable/portable device. You've heard some more talk today, and I think some of it, like you said, rumors, leaks, whatever, it's to kind of tame expectations. So like it won't have a kickstand, probably because an 8-inch device doesn't need a kickstand, but there will be some kind of case/accessory. We talked about how they may or may not offer some type of keyboard for this. But I definitely think price is going to be a really huge one, right? A huge thing to figure out what it's going to cost and what does it mean for the rest of the product line. I think by surprise it means something else. There's been a rumor floated about a watch. What would be interesting is that if it was a watch, that makes me feel like it's a watch that ties to your computer more than your phone. And that could be kind of interesting because no one's done that yet. Why would you announce a watch that syncs with your phone at what's going to probably be a Surface event?
Right.
So that's going to be really interesting.
Maybe, or I was thinking maybe we'll hear something. I know you said just a few seconds ago how the 2520 is being pimped out. I was thinking maybe there's going to be some kind of either smaller version of that towards gaming or something. Because no one where Nokia was going maybe before the merger. Maybe they still had something else in the pipeline worth showing that they're going to do at this event to keep multiple tablets out there. Maybe that's why we're seeing such a big thing for the Nokia even in the Microsoft stores. So I mean, it would be cool to see a watch. I just don't think, I don't know how a watch would work unless you're going to carry a computer around all the time, unless it's its own little computer. Who knows?
Man, I hope it's, I don't know. I hope it's not a watch. I mean, they would have to have been working on that.
Yeah, well, we know they are.
Prior to this whole Apple thing. Because we all know, Apple says, hey, or the rumors out, Apple may do a watch, and then Samsung has a watch 2 weeks later. Right?
Oh, well, Apple already. Now we're hearing Apple's not doing a watch this year.
Okay, well, whatever.
No, that's not what we're hearing. I agree that I don't think it's going to be a watch because it doesn't make much sense to tie it to a non-phone device, unless it's some type of thing that syncs. But they've tried that before with spot watches. I don't know what it's going to be. Unless it's a sneak peek of a watch, but again, it just doesn't make sense to tie it into this event because then no attention gets paid to the Surface Mini. Every article will be about a watch, right?
Right.
So.
Right.
We'll
that's why I was thinking spec bump to keep like a subdued.
I'm thinking spec bump. That would be logical, right? It could be just.
Right.
It could be spec bump. It could be
Price.
fall spec bump. That was like, hey, here's a mini. Maybe here's what we're gonna have. Roadmap. Maybe they just roadmap you.
Maybe the Surface 2's $299, whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything.
The other thing we've been talking. We haven't heard anything about price, and that's
Yep.
worrying me because in the last week, 2 weeks, we've been hearing about how they're taking a bath on every single Surface that they sell, which I don't necessarily believe that it's completely true.
No.
No, they're not taking it per item. They're overall because they haven't sold enough.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
just,
and
it-
people say that Google loses money on every Nexus 5 and Nexus 4 sold. I don't believe that either. I'm not saying that they make a lot of money.
right.
I'm sure Microsoft is making something, but is it enough to cover
R&D and all
the
that stuff.
R&D?
Right.
Because they're obviously doing a future roadmap, the marketing budget. So they're probably looking at it from that angle. And like you said, we know they're making profit on those higher end Surface Pro 2s. I don't know
they
how
have
many
to
of those
be.
that they sell.
The bill of materials doesn't change drastically for
Right.
Well, that's the whole
between
thing.
the
Even
256 and the 512.
and we always see those teardowns of every device, and we'll say your Nexus 5 costs $141.
Right.
Right. Yes, that's how much the parts of a device cost, but that doesn't include everything else, and that's why Surface is losing money right now. They
Those
had
are
a huge
estimates.
marketing budget. There was huge R&D. It was a new device, so they could say we have to make $112 per item for the first 10 million to make that back, whatever the number was when they first came out, or a million, to make that back. So it's not per device. Once they make back the R&D cost per device, they're definitely making money on these. And I think that's what John's getting. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, I guess my second point is what I want to say is I would like a premium device, which I feel that it will be like a premium. I feel like RT, Surface tablets, and Pro 2 are premium devices, but I want a Cadillac device and I want a Chevrolet price. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
What kind of Chevrolet are we talking here? Because they go pretty much run the gamut these days.
I don't want it priced in the stratosphere and have that be the stumbling
Right.
block for the device.
But what are you going to give up? That's the whole thing.
Here's a couple things. What if the Surface 2 drops in price, and this actually takes over some of the price points currently held by the Surface 2? That could be interesting. It's possible that the cost of this device could be more than a Surface 2.
Right, with
A
the
high-resolution
digitizer.
screen. It could have a different processor, the stylus. It could come with more storage. Yeah, the digitizer. So that could be interesting to see. Maybe that's a surprise. Price drops on the current line. The problem is it's the Surface 2 is $449, right? So for this to come in where we would originally have expected to would be probably $349 to $399, but probably $349.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to never be too far off from the Apple model price-wise. So, but could you do this high-end device for $349? It's certainly possible. And if they want to...
I would hope so.
Yeah. But then again...
I know one thing... As I bet you any amount of money, they were not expecting to have RT inventory at this mini rollout. They're still clearing out RTs.
I don't think they care about that, though.
I think they care.
That is interesting, though. That is a good point. I don't know, because some of us have thought, well, they did rebrand it, sort of. Has anyone ever seen... Hey, has anyone ever seen new packaging? Did they actually do that, or is it still just the same old box, same old?
Same old box, yeah.
Same old stuff.
Well, I say same old box. It's a pretty nifty box.
No, but can we tell that they're still making them, or are these literally was there like a million left over from last year?
I don't know. The new box
still everywhere.
Right? RT. I think it's a good question. But if you take an 8-inch device, okay, like I said, HD screen. Let's say a really good, like a Wacom digitizer, that's like on the Pro, stylus, with some other cool, whatever note-taking features. I could see $399 being the price point. And while other people say, look at the Nexus 7, it's way too high, you're not going to come in with stuff like with a Wacom digitizer, for example, you can't do it for $199. So why not?
I think it gets under $399. I think
$399 is where it's going to sit.
That's the bottom floor.
Only $50 less than a Surface 2.
But
the
Wacom's so expensive for them. That's one of the most.
Which is why I think there's a price shift. I do. I think the Surface 2 drops.
I agree.
Which will really tick me off because that means the LTE model will drop, and I paid $649 for that bad boy. But still, I could see the Surface 2 line drop, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that Surface 2 LTE. Has anyone seen or heard of one out in the wild? I have yet to even
Of
see
which
it
one?
mentioned. The LT model that I bought.
No.
Yeah, right, and they're pimping the 2520. So
Even the AT&T store, every time you walk in, they see your Windows phone. It's like, hey, you want a 2520 with that?
right,
It's like,
watch
really?
the 2520 just be rebranded.
It's like,
Right.
there's the guy.
Right. There's the
Guy
guy.
who bought that.
Watch me get invited. They're like, sir, we're inviting you. The only person who bought Surface 2 LTE.
We want to do some testing to find how the LT worked, and since you're the only customer, please join us.
Yeah. I hope. I don't know. I don't know. I think $399 is the floor of the pricing. I would love to see him get.
Well, maybe we'll see a $199 Surface, $299 to $349 Surface 2, $399 for this Surface, whatever they're going to call it. Note, Mini. Right now they're calling it Mini, right, for small, but we don't know what's actually going to be called.
Just and
All I
just
know is
because
I'm
it's
really
mini
excited.
doesn't mean that it's cheaper.
Here's what I'm really excited about. As you know, I'm a lover of all things OneNote. I want to see what they do with OneNote and if it improves on my Surface RT as well.
Yes, there's certainly going to be some kind of update.
All right,
In
so
fact, the update could roll out before the Surface Mini does.
right,
Quite possibly.
exactly.
Right? What I think is interesting is a big feature of the Surface 2 over, let's say, the iPad, right? Because that's their direct competition. There's a little bit with Android, but they do a lot of comparisons with iPad. Is the keyboard. So they knew that they probably couldn't do a keyboard for a smaller tablet, or maybe they couldn't do one that was really good. So I'm sure they could still do one, right? But it wasn't what they would hang their hat on. So they went with the stylus, which is smart because as we've seen, there are some hardcore stylus fans out there, right? I mean, these are people that will use the Samsung Note, and they'll buy every version of it because they want the stylus. They get interested in the Dell Venue Pro 8. They want to hear about the stylus. They're interested in the Asus,
beat us
Vivo
up
tab.
about that stylus.
So it will be interesting that they could possibly sell. I'm just guessing 100,000 of these just to those people, and especially if they could have some other apps. I think that'll be interesting too. Developer support has been a weakness, let's say, of the modern UI applications. It would be nice to see at least promises of, hey, here's Adobe Photoshop Express or some kind of Painter app. I mean, I guess they could show off Fresh Paint and OneNote. We probably forgot about Fresh Paint. That's probably due for some kind of update. But it would be nice to see maybe a couple third-party apps thrown in there. Before I forget, the surprise could be a beta version of Touch Office shipping with this device. Let's not forget about that, because I do worry about how the desktop is going to scale. I first said, hey, the desktop's not going to scale well at all on this device. Then, I don't know, I can't remember the rumored resolution. It's something by 1600.
Yeah.
But if you divide that by 2, it's a reasonable resolution. And I say divide it by 2 because for the desktop by default, they'll scale it to 200%.
Right.
So you're basically dividing that by 2. So it's possible it would work, but the rumor is it's under 8 inches, right? It's like 7.9 inches or something like that.
I think so. And
right. So it'll just be really interesting to see the whole thing. The whole package. Hopefully it's not just a Surface 2 shrunken down with a pen.
And the Office thing's interesting because don't forget the original Surface RT shipped with Office for, I guess, Windows RT beta. Like it shipped with the beta, so it would not be unprecedented for Microsoft to just ship this with a beta version of, I guess, the Office version, which is called whatever Gemini, whatever they're calling it right now, which I guess will just be called Office. That would be huge because that would also mean, I guess, we would see the touch version on our other RT devices or the other, whatever device you want to use touch enabled on. That would be a game changer. That would really. That's a good pickup. I think I could see that being it because that could really support the device. It would not overshadow the big announcement because it would just be part of it.
Isn't it fun trying to figure this out? Sometimes it's maddening.
That's fun, but it's just it's good to see they're going ahead with this, and I really hope that the rumors are right that it's RT. Because I was talking to someone online trying to help them fix something, and they got, I think it was the Venue 8. It might have been one of the 8-inch tablets.
Mm-hmm.
And they said their weird stuff showing up on their browser. Turned out they installed like 90 toolbars, just like everyone else does in their PC. Grandma does in their PC all the time. And I'm like, oh, like this doesn't happen on iPad. I'm like, that's yeah, I know. Okay, but back to the keyboard really quick. And I thought I would never like an 8-inch tablet with a keyboard. Logitech makes a really nice one for a hard case keyboard for the iPad that works really
Yes.
nicely on the iPad Mini.
Yes.
So if they could do something like that, that gives us like it's so much like sometimes like that is sturdy. I wish the Touch and Type had more of that feel to it on the Surface. So something like that would be really neat on that size. It works. Like I was like, come on, who wants to type on like? But if you have to, I'm not saying it's to
Mhm.
sit all day, but it works. It definitely works and works well.
Right. And this device could be a little wider, although the rumor is it will have a 4:3 aspect ratio. So it'll be interesting to see. And I'm assuming Microsoft will want to offer one and not rely on a third party, but it'll
Right.
be interesting to see too. Eventually, someone will probably make one.
Mm-hmm.
But do they? And there will be a cover. They're going to want to be an accessory. There's been a rumor the cover would act as a stand.
Right.
That isn't hard to believe. But I did make that joke. Boy, wouldn't that Bluetooth adapter be great with a type cover or a touch cover on a device like this? But maybe they'll make a Bluetooth touch cover with it already built in or something. So who knows? Be interesting to see.
And like I said, I'm just happy RT's still around. I like the idea of OneNote being in it because I think that's one of Microsoft's, and they seem to be going all in on that lately. That seems to be showing up everywhere. So I guess we'll know in just 2 short weeks.
It's
From
2
today.
weeks from now, so we'll have
2 weeks
plenty
from
to
today.
talk about 2 weeks from now for sure.
So, all right, there we go. What are your thoughts, people? Go to the forum, surfacegeeks.net/forums. What do you want to see in it? Maybe they could fix it if it's not there yet.
Yeah, people are weighing in. No, these things are ready to go. Hopefully, I hope they're done.
I would
They're
hope
sitting
so.
in boxes.
They're
I
still going
want-
to make us wait, aren't they?
I would guess a few weeks, but
The event's on a Tuesday, right? Man, I'd love it if they say Friday. Get to the store on Friday. They're there. But
I
I'm
would
going to
love
guess
if
2
they
weeks
did the
later.
Apple thing. You could pre-order now and it's shipping whatever date it is.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. But pre-order now. Take pre-orders. Take our money.
I kind of
Right?
don't want to pre-order because that's what I did with my Surface 2, and I was able to go into Best Buy that day and pick it up instead of having to have it shipped.
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes
Because,
the UPS guy doesn't come until like 6 p.m.
My guy comes late when it's a tech item that I want. He knows it. He's like, "Oh, this is Surface 2 day. I'm going to make John wait." So
Exactly.
What do you
I will
get
definitely
now?
be going to a store.
What did he get now? Yeah, and I like the store experience. I do. I
So,
like going in.
and this has been long rumored and long awaited, so hopefully it's worth the wait because we've been talking about this since Surface RT launched when it was going to be the Xbox Mini. I think we were
Where's
talking back then.
Where's the mini?
The Mini with the
And I need
Xbox
something
X.
to do with my stylus because I have a stylus with my Surface
Not going to
Pro
work.
2.
This is going to
yeah.
work with a proprietary
No, I don't
stylus.
use
You only
it,
get from
though.
Microsoft. It's $69. Trust me, sir. Hey, what about the rumor of who's going to announce this product?
Yeah, that's a big change.
Okay.
Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, is making the trip east to do the announcement.
I think it's kind of cool that
It is very cool because you want
Do you-
him
do you-
to be the face of the company now.
Do you think he'll announce it, or is it just like he'll just maybe give a business recap, he'll kick it off, talk about the importance of OneNote, something like that?
I think he announces it, and then he'll bring out the
Yells.
people who do the demos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can see him. I can see him following that model of the successful, keynote there. Having him be in the face of Microsoft, and then letting the product guys do their thing because they deserve recognition too.
Right. But I think having him make the announcements is a good change. 'Cause I think there's a positive feel about him out there right now in the media. As for the coverage he gets is good. People loved his Office for iPad announcement, just on the fact that it was done in an hour. It was quick. He was witty. He was smart. Same thing when he did the keynote at Build. Same kind of came out and did that. So I think it's just good to have a face of the company. This is our new face of the company, and he's in the one Microsoft thing. So he's involved in everything. It's no longer, hey, that division takes care of that, that division takes care of that, which the last 2 Surface announcements kind of felt like, right? The Surface team will go take care of this huge announcement that they're spending billions of dollars on, where now it's the head guy is coming. So they, to say, hey, we're all in on this. I think it's important.
Did anybody hear if this is going to be like streamed to the public? We're going to be able to go to Microsoft.com and watch this thing?
It should. Every other event is, so I assume on the press site it will be.
I'm hoping so.
I mean,
I
every
haven't
other,
heard a thing.
yeah. But everything they've done so far in the last 3 years has been, right? So
Yeah. And stay tuned. Maybe we can pull something out, but it'd be nice to. And this is going off. Is it 11 o'clock
Yep.
on the 20th?
Yep.
Is that Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern. So it'd be probably 11 to 2. They usually do a quick thing, and then the press gets about 2 hours or an hour or two with the devices.
Yeah. And then, standard Microsoft. It would be a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I guess I said we are mid-June. That's like 3 to 4 weeks. That's my guess.
3 to 4 weeks. Apple's got their thing.
It's about 2 weeks right now. 10 days to 2 weeks. Apple, most of it, except for that Pro, which took about 8 months.
Apple's got their big thing in June, so
Right.
I doubt that they would ship hardware during that. You kind of get lost.
Well, the announcement's out there. I don't think the shipping date's as important.
Yeah. Okay. Just speculating.
I'm sure we'll have new news on this next week that talks how it's an x86 device and it has no Wacom digitizer on it. Everything you heard
new
was wrong.
20-inch Surface.
It's a green Xbox
It's got
tablet.
legs.
It only runs one app, OneNote.
Right. OneNote.
That's it.
It's the Kindle
And
Paperwhite.
OneDrive.
It's the
Anything
Kindle
named
Paperwhite of OneNote.
Yeah, anything named
$49.
one, it rides.
$49.99.
Surface One.
Throwaway.
Yeah.
Comes in
One
a box as
Surface.
well.
One Surfi.
All right. Anything happening on the Windows Phone front, guys?
I may be getting one tomorrow.
What?
There you go.
Yeah.
Whoa. We'll
John,
get to that in a second.
you get something new every week.
No. This is
You have issues.
This
Nine-
is so I can be more productive and responsive at work. This will hopefully be a work-issued device.
925?
I don't know. It's
Ah,
going to be
okay.
a surprise.
Ooh,
If I had
fun.
to guess, it's going to be a 920. If I had to
Oh.
guess.
Get
But
the
I've never
tank out.
had-
You don't have a choice?
I've never had the brick that's known as a 920.
Back up the truck.
Why wouldn't you just say, hey, I would prefer a 1520, please?
That is not one of the devices that's on their list. That's what I'm saying.
What about the 930? Maybe wait a little while.
No, that's not coming to AT&T.
I would have
Or
to
the US.
I would have to switch carriers, and we sort of have a level of service being provided to us now from the other carrier that's pretty stable. Very
So-
complicated. When you're not making the purchasing decision, it gets very complicated.
So there is good news as soon as you get that Lumia device. For Lumia owners, there is you get $25 gift credits to the Windows Phone store. All you had to do is go
Windows Store.
Windows, like right now it's a Windows Store because it goes on both, right? It's one store. You get $25 gift code to your Microsoft account. If you download a certain app, we'll put the link in the show notes. I was a little skeptical, but I went and did that, and all of a sudden I have $25 in my account for owning a Lumia. After the show, I'm going to check them if I can do it on my 522 and see if they'll just add or just say one.
Now, I have a 720. It's an international model from Mexico, for those who care. The app will not install. It says your device is not eligible. So it could be a U.S. only thing, could be a U.S. carrier model thing. We'll have to see.
Right. It tells you if you're eligible or not. So give it a try. WP Central had the original article if you want to go look now. But it worked. I was skeptical. So it definitely worked. And one of my favorite games is available on Windows Phone. Had an update on Windows Phone. If you follow or talk to any Windows Phone users, the one game a lot of people talk about is Wordament because it was always there from the beginning. It's a fun spelling game. You compete against other people playing at the same time. Well, finally, there's an update. It's called Snap Attack. I was just playing before the show started. It's more of a Scrabble/Wordament type game, and it is awesome. I had to steal the phone back for the show from Monica because she was playing it. It's also going to be available soon if it's not already out on iOS, just like Wordament was. It's part of that Xbox group of games. It is awesome. It is just a very cool game if you're into those kind of spelling kind of things, and it works well, and it comes from Microsoft, so go give that a try. Snap Attack, go to the Windows Phone Store and download it now.
Snap Attack.
And apparently there's date restrictions on the phone for the $25, thanks to Richard Hay of Windows Observer for pointing that out. That might be one of the issues when the phone was actually manufactured or such for the $25 gift card.
Oh, so am I going to get it with my 520?
That's what check. Can't hurt to check, right?
I need the link on OneNote, right?
Yeah, it's in there. So this is an interesting wrap up phone a little bit. So we have an article up how in certain markets Windows Phone is outdoing iOS. It's been a fairly common theme for the last year. There's weird markets, random markets. If you dig deep into those markets, you could tell very clearly the difference between the markets where Windows Phone jumps ahead of iOS and where iOS does really well, even compared to Android and everything. And that's subsidies. Countries that have subsidized plans and contracts that work more like US, iOS does really well. Countries where it doesn't, it's all Android and Windows Phone, to the point where Windows Phone is beating iOS because people don't see the real price of the iPhone.
So what you're saying is Apple needs to come out with a low price iPhone.
Well, there's that if they want to. But for the Windows Phone side, T-Mobile's been making this push now for kind of lower price contracts and phone you pay for the phone. AT&T now will offer you different prices if you have unsubsidized phones. Maybe this will be the way my Windows Phone actually gets some growth, is if people do demand, hey, just give me the lowest price contract. I don't want a contract with you. Give me the lowest price month to month. If that becomes a more popular option, maybe we do get the growth to 5%, 6%, 7%, maybe even 10% one day. And then you'll leave fries and go to the grill. There's a movie reference for you guys. I'll leave it there.
Okay. I can't remember that movie.
That would be Coming to America.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say I've been washing lettuce.
Right, you go.
One day I'll get to work the grill. I'll be on fries. Okay, see, I'm with you.
There you go. So that's Windows Phone. Right now, they're still washing lettuce.
Okay, whatever. I had to sync my phone real quick, but I have the link.
Okay, let's see if this works on a 520. And then I'm going to try to figure out if it'll work on what was the name of the app, by the way? Do you remember?
It's gift voucher.
Yeah.
Can you just search it?
I don't think so. I think you had to use I used the QR.
I believe it's called App Voucher. APP space VOUCHER.
The password is. Let's see here. If it just comes up in the search, I'll try to find it.
In show notes.
Oh boy.
In case I do get a 920, I'm looking at cases on Amazon. You can get hey, listen. You can get a pack of 13 cases for $9.20, all different colors for $9.99. So if you have if you have a 920, I highly recommend Amazon.com. Use the link on Surface Geeks.
It's coming to the point now. Whenever I see let me see if I can find this here, the actual link. Whenever I see whenever I get a phone, I just go look to Amazon and go look at what their Incipio case looks like.
Yeah.
They have some of those that aren't too expensive, but they're still a little bit pricey compared to the other things that are out there.
I go to there's a manufacturer called Poetic.
Yes.
Poetic. They have a lot of cases. Okay, gift voucher. Let's see. This app is not available for your device.
I found gift voucher. Is it by Nokia?
Because the app isn't available in your country or region. It was removed from the store by the publisher, or it's exclusive to a different mobile provider.
Oh, interesting.
If your phone software is out of date, settings phone update, it's possible that updating will fix the problem. Well, I'm running the beta, or the preview.
Right, so that works. That's what I got. And I'm trying to see if... I'm going to let's see if I...
This is great radio.
This is, yes, great.
Let's all try to find an app on the App Store.
Well, I mean, It's gift voucher. You get the link in the show notes. If you're a Nokia Lumia owner, you need to go check this out. At least try. I just tried it with my 520. I don't know why, but I don't have it. And maybe it's just an older phone, like you guys were saying. Maybe they want
Yeah.
to give it to 928 and above kind of folks.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on the 520, and I have it on the and it worked on the 1520.
Yeah, maybe their 520 is excluded.
Right, it's like that's half the price you pay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I might as well send you the phone
Half
for
the
free.
price of the phone. Yeah. Why? Yeah. I don't blame them for that.
but give it a try. If you have a Lumia, it can't hurt to try. It's pretty easy
Hey,
to
that's
check.
another $25 off if I need
Mhm.
to go and pick up the icon tomorrow.
Wait, can you use that actual in the store? Wait. Oh, because you'll get $25.
Yeah, I know
Like, wait a
it's like
second.
a in roundabout way, right?
hmm
I'd
Exactly.
spend it too. I'd find something to buy.
Oh, that's yeah. I was trying to figure. I'm like, yeah, I'll just leave it because there's always gonna be stuff I
It's
want. So I might as well wait.
549 by the way. So that would make it, 525.
We're going lower. This is like
$24. You can't beat that.
there you go. And the only other thing, we have a couple more apps. Big
What do we
update
got?
if you're a
Wrap up.
Box user, Box.com, Box.net, whatever they call themselves these days, Box
Mhm.
HQ, Box, just Box. I actually got a little. I wrote a blog post last week on my blog, talk about how some apps on Windows Phone, while they're available, they're so subpar, they're really not usable. So to say they're there is a problem. And one I pointed out was Box, because a lot of companies use Box. Box is a file sharing service similar to OneDrive, or OneDrive for Business more. Um, but a lot of people leave comments on documents and stuff, and you couldn't see them in the Windows Store, Windows 8 or Windows Phone. Box put on their blog a full redesign of the Windows Phone 8 app and the Windows 8 Touch apps, I guess RT slash, whatever, in the Windows Store. It's Windows Store apps, I guess we're calling those these days. And they work awesome, full featured. I mean, every feature you see on the other devices, you got that commenting in there, uploading, downloading. So if you're a Box user, go out and make sure you get the update. Or if you're not a Box user, you get 10 gigs of storage for free just for signing up. So if you're running out of storage, you want to split up where you're sharing stuff. Really nice for sharing links with people and seeing who opened it and such. I'm a big fan of Box, so I was really happy to see this come to the Windows Store, and I think this is another big item for Windows RT. And I'm not reading what's going on over there. So anyway, Box in
It's
the
good. No, it's good that they're getting. I mean, obviously they knew
it's
it was
good.
crap.
Yeah.
It was their first. It was their first go at it with that
Right.
app. They knew they needed to update it. There were many other people pointing that out too, Darren.
Right. So having that was just another good app, especially business-wise. And then today there was a bunch of updates in the Windows Store. I just noticed on the RT. All the Bing apps were updated, and Skype was updated. It's now going to sync your favorites across, all your settings and favorites across devices, which is good because I
Wow.
was like, why are my favorites? It's like that's within the
Right.
app. Why wouldn't it sync? So that's a big thing, and that got updated today. So we're starting to see more updates. We're starting to see more of the first-party apps come, and they're coming better. That's the bigger thing, I think,
Yeah, they're
more than
plugging
having them
things into
come.
the cloud. They're getting them in Azure and
Yeah.
syncing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
wanted to bring up that it's nice to see these apps become even stronger apps.
Mhm.
There's a music video app, Vivo. I've always used it since it's been out on the platform. Use it on a lot of platforms, and the Vivo app was just updated. Didn't have a change log, but I noticed it loads videos faster. It is able to get them to HD quicker. It doesn't struggle so much when going from commercials to music videos. So it's just nice to see. Those are the kind of things we talk about. Other platforms getting updates more often, seeing certain things first. So it's nice to see the Windows platform, and I guess even the Windows Phone platform, start seeing the apps, receive some attention from the developers. They're not just put out in there and left alone. Xbox Music is constantly updated, constantly being tweaked, improved. Some third-party music apps have been updated. It's nice to see.
Nice. And how about the Bing apps? We thought the Bing apps all got updated, and on the phone, the Bing apps now lost the name Bing, but they're still the same apps. Really cool. Just go through those apps sometime if you're a Windows Phone user. Health and fitness, travel, weather, what is something the other sports, news, and finance. I think is a group of them. They all keep getting updated, and those are really nice apps. The travel app is awesome. If you're just in a place, they'll give you uh, restaurants, hotels, all that kind of stuff quickly. Finance app does as good a job as any is updating. So give the Bing apps a try on both platforms because as they should be, those are first-class apps on both platforms.
And if you use Wikipedia, they just came out with a Wikipedia app that combines the power of Wikipedia and Bing search to bring you more information on certain things. It's pretty cool. It's designed for touch, so if you have a Windows 8 touch device, try it out.
There you go, and I think that covers everything today in an hour. We're getting good at this.
We're getting good. We stuck with Surface. Windows Phone. We got a little off the rails there on the app, but sometimes you got to just check that stuff while you're doing it, right?
That's fun. People want to know if it works.
Yeah, people want to know if it works. We tested it for them, right? All right, guys, go sell something out of your closet. It's almost Surface Mini time. We'll get a lot of those sold out the door into the forums. All right, this has been episode number 66. Thanks for hanging with us. Find us on Twitter, twitter.com/SurfaceGeeks, and you'll know what's going on. Meet us out there in the forums. Also check thegeeksnetwork.com for more podcasts just like this one. And hey, I'm your host, David McCabe, for Mr. Darren Cohen and Mr. John Wiskowski. Good night. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Surface Geeks.
Wow. Click.
Click.
Click live. Quick, click live.
Click. Richard just did it?
What do you do?
He just got his $25.
Are we still? I know. I was surprised.
Richie Rich.
We helped somebody. Yay! See, we are good guys.
Doing God's work, Dave. 1 week at a time.
I wouldn't
How do you use it?
I wouldn't go that far. I do have a problem.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Oh.
You need a new phone.
Right here.
Yes.
It's empty.
Ooh, pretty.
Empty.
Pretty pictures.
It's called Gift Voucher.
That's then I was using some spam app.
Gift Voucher. He said he tried it the other day. It didn't work. Huh. I'll be damned. Sorry, I got stuck on Google Plus. There was a.
You're right. It is called gift voucher. Damn it.
There's this GIF of this guy throwing the frisbee to his dog. You know a dog that won't catch a frisbee, right? He throws the frisbee and it
If
just
there's
lands on
one
the
thing that
dog.
sounds exactly Google Plus, this is it.
Yeah.
An animated GIF.
It was actually a really fun one, and I really don't like animated GIFs. This one.
That's
was
because they're
kinda fun.
GIFs. You can
Doge.
I say GIFs.
A lot of Doge gifts. Doge. Doji.
Okay.
See you guys. We leaving now.
Thanks for hanging with us, chat room. Hey, I said on the home server show, everybody in chat, and you two guys, keep your September open. If you have anything scheduled in September, just cancel it now. Keep it open.
The whole month.
The whole month.
Okay.
Clear it for us.
My employer.
We're going to go for some meetup action.
Ooh,
Annual. It'll be the 4th annual home server show, Surface Geeks, the Average Guy.tv meetup. So don't schedule anything except September. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's go get a snack. Thanks, YouTubers.
Take care.
Good night. Yeah, we're snacking it. You can stay in chat and chat with us. The video. I can't eat in front of you guys. Just can't do it. It's rude.
Damn you and you're rude.
Did Jetmec just show up?
Yeah.
Jetmec, we're done.
I know we're usually only halfway through at this point, but
We can go again.
Sorry, man.
Do it live.
Woohoo, I made it!
Do it live, God damn.
Sign off.
What does that mean? What does that mean, play us out? What does that mean to play us out? What does that mean? I've only been doing radio and television for 20 years. What does that mean?
Mr. Entertainment Tonight. Inside Edition. What was it?
To play us out. Oh yeah, we did talk about the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That was definitely definitely in the show notes.
I watched every second of it.
I just watched Obama and what's his face.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't want to watch the scholarships being given out so they could shake hands? That was the first 20 minutes.
I didn't know there was given out.